It's the Eagle Community Television Forum with your host, Gary Shorman.
Hi everyone, I'm Gary Shorman. This is the Forum on Eagle Television. It's good to have you watching as our forum program is brought to you by Hayes Med. Our guest today is Kim Stewart, and Kim is the Associate Professor and Chair of Applied Technologies at Fort Hays State University. And Kim, good to have you here.
It's good to be here. Thank you very much for the invitation.
Well, you know what? It's exciting. If you have a chance to drive through or walk through the campus at Fort Hays, that's a busy place down there.
It is a busy place. There's a lot of building going on, and it's pretty exciting on our campus. You know, the investment that's taking place and what's going to happen for students in a year or even in the future with the new buildings, it is just exciting at Fort Hays State University.
Well, I like that part of it because you build a building not for this year or next year. You build the building for the next 20 and 50 years as the university grows. And we know that the university has grown a lot and will continue to do so. The building we want to talk about specifically is the one that's across from, I'd say across from Memorial Union, that's off of 8th Street there. It used to be a parking lot, and now all of a sudden there's a lot of concrete and steel going up there. Tell us about that building.
Well, actually, the Department of Applied Technology is the culprits for taking the parking lot.
So you're the person to blame?
we are the people to blame, I guess. But we have built a new parking lot behind the President's house as part of the Center for Applied Technology and Sculpture. And the building is called that because not only will we have the Department of Applied Technology within that building, but Toby, our sculpture professor, will be also coming over from Rarick Hall and has part of the building also. And so it, you know, the building itself is going to be a great reflection of really an investment of the past, the present, and the future of what's happening in applied technology. And so we are very excited to see that being built across the street from Davis Hall. And you know, Davis Hall has served us well. We've had a celebration, you know, about the last, I think it was 4 weeks ago, where we talked about, you know, why we were building the building. And through part of that, you know, we had indicated that Davis Hall had served us well for the past 65 years. And, you know, just through facilities planning, we had a need for, you know, a new building that could house the things that we do, and not only traditional technology that we can think of with industrial processes, but you know, emerging technologies that are happening within the STEM world. And so, you know, this building I think is going to be the merging of or blending of those two entities to where we not only have traditional technologies in there with an industrial setting, but also some things built around a STEM lab and some instructional technology and things that would be pretty exciting for the future.
We're going to come back to STEM labs in a second, but when you go to Davis Hall, you're 65 years old. That building went into existence about 1950, if my math is right.
That's correct.
And so you look at 1950, where technology was in 1950, and how well that building has served for 65 years. A building that's built starting today, and it'll actually be, maybe, I guess, used next year.
Yep.
Will it last for 65 years?
You know, I think the construction's a little bit different, but as you see the infrastructure, the skeleton of the new building, it's made of iron. And so it's going to be here for a good long time. You know, the challenge for this building was to make it affordable, yet have the Fort Hays limestone look, and still come in under budget with you know, some bigger areas for traditional shops and then other laboratories that we need within the building. But our architects did a great job of coming in with ideas and then allowing us to build on those ideas, and you know, we kind of bounced back and forth with different things, and I believe we came up with a building that you know, our students are going to be proud of, and it's going to be able to serve the Fort Hays community for the next 65 years.
Well, I was Brandon to put a picture up here of the building from the outside, but when you walk in the door, take us kind of a little bit of a tour through that building. What are we going to see when we walk in the front door? Because you see the limestone in front, you see really it's a beautiful facade on the front that makes it look
I'd actually
great.
love to do that, and I'm going to start by telling you a little story about the first time when we met with the architects. And they were asking us, kind of what our vision would be for the building. And as we started talking about that, I think we came up with a very quick scenario that if we turned onto College Drive and we turned over and we looked at that building, there would have to be something, that would say, hey, what is in that building? And I turned in the driveway and I'm going to walk into that building. And the other day I turned onto College Drive and I looked at that building and I thought to myself, wow, that's exactly the feeling that I'm getting is what's in that building and what's going to happen in there. And so, if we walk into the front, we have a vestibule, and that vestibule is going to allow us to either go into the sculpture side or it's going to allow us to go into the applied technology side. As we walk into the applied technology side, we have an atrium that is going to actually be the 2 stories tall and allow us to see the different classrooms that are in that part of the building. The reason that we think an atrium is so important is because it's going to allow our students a place to meet, to do group activities, to relax between classes.
There's a cafeteria, a little cafe in there, correct?
There's a little social cafe,
Yeah.
and it's not going to be able to have meals or things like that, but it's going to have some vending machines. It's going to be a place so when we have a drive-in conference or where we bring students in for a technology day, that we're going to be able to do a few things around that. But it's going to be a place for kids to just relax. If they need to be somewhere between class to do homework, it's going to be able to. We have 2 seminar rooms, which are essentially classrooms, but we're going to be able to open them up, and then the atrium and those 2 classrooms will be open. We're going to be able to have, like I said, our technology conferences there. We're going to have a first ever construction career day here in about 3 or 4 weeks, and wouldn't it be great to be in the new building for that? So those kind of things just within the atrium itself are going to be really neat things that I think are going to make the building very, very inviting.
Now, I understand the front will be 2 stories. You'll have some classrooms in the
correct.
front part of that, like you're talking about. But as you go back, it'll turn into a 1.5 and have some bigger work area.
The front portion of the building will have our offices, and then as we go down the street side, we'll have a computer-aided drafting lab. We're calling it our STEM CAD lab. And then we're also going to have a new type of a lab, and that's going to be a STEM lab, a science, technology, engineering, mathematics lab. And that lab is really has been designed for doing entry-level discovery, experimentations of things within our area. And we think we're pretty good with the T and the E of STEM, and that's technology and applied engineering. And so, we're building lessons around that so that particular room will house some 3D printing, some laser cutting activities, a few traditional saws and a few things that we can use for some activities. But there's just an environment that let us learn, and we do a lot of that in a new STEM class that we have. We give them information, and then we give them a challenge, and we sit back and say, okay, show us what you got.
Okay.
And so the kids do a pretty good job of showing us what they have.
So what's in the back half of the building?
Well, if we look on the other side, then we're going to see the seminar areas. And then if we move upstairs, we're going to have a plastics laboratory. We'll also have an integrated technology, which is our robotics, hydraulics, pneumatics area. We also have a place for an electric car. We do the Kansas Electro Rally. We're part of that. So we have a place that our students can build an electric car. Then we have a construction management area. And a construction management, of course, is really a new area for us. We've had it about 4 years now. We've grown from 2 students to 25 in that particular area, which has helped some of our numbers. And then we also have a place for instructional technology. All those people in teacher education that are on campus will come over to the building, and they will use a room that is essentially used for teaching how to use technology in the classroom, so having technology-rich lesson plans and those types of things. We're also going to have then a a communications area that will allow us to do a little bit of screen printing, some different things with posters and things of that nature that we haven't had an area to call our own in the communications area, nor construction management or the STEM. So there's things that we've built into the building that I think are going to allow us to grow a little bit. Now, if we're looking at the back portion of the building, we have a wood technology area, we have a manufacturing technology, and then we have a traditional welding lab that's at the back. And of course, we have a partnership with NCK Tech, and their one-year welding program is housed within Davis Hall right now, and they will also move across the street with us. And that's a unique partnership, because what we do with a second-year program is we allow their students to come into our manufacturing area, and by the time they get through with that curriculum, they'll take some classes back to NCK Tech and have an associate's degree. And then consequently, we have a good number of those students then will they'll continue on and get a 4-year degree. So, as I've kind of indicated, we still do a lot of traditional technologies, but we've built in some things for the new STEM activities that are happening within the context of this building.
Kim, you have to be really excited about this, and the group of professors that are a part of this whole program, just because I can hear the excitement in your voice to get this new building going because of what's going on. We're going to come back and talk about what kind of students are a part of this program. We're going to talk about the STEM lab. You mentioned it a couple of times, what goes on in that. We come back with the second half of our program. Our guest is Kim Stewart. He's an associate professor and chair of applied technologies at Fort Hays State University. Back with more after this.
Hays Med is your first and best choice for healthcare. They're the only facility providing tertiary level services in this region. With more than 70 physicians and 26 specialties ranging from heart, orthopedic, spine care, cancer, obstetrics and gynecology, wound care, rehabilitation and surgery, including the Da Vinci robotic surgery, Hays Med is your comprehensive health provider for people throughout Western Kansas. Hays Med, helping people be healthy.
The most exciting yards in football. It's NFL Red Zone from NFL Network. Get every touchdown from every game, every Sunday afternoon. And football doesn't stop on NFL Network. It goes all week.
We're covering it like crazy.
Get NFL Red Zone from NFL Network today.
Add NFL Red Zone so you can watch all the game-defining yards in football. Call us at 877-61-EAGLE today.
Welcome back to the second half of our forum here on Eagle TV with our guest Kim Stewart. If you have any questions, comments, ideas, solutions to some community problems, boy, I'd like to hear about those. Send them to me at gary.shorman@eaglecom.net. You can also check us out on Facebook under ECTV Forum, ECTV Forum. Again, this is the second half of our forum program, and our guest is Kim Stewart. He's an associate professor and chair of applied technologies at Fort Hays State University. And I can tell you what, he's excited as heck about the new building that's just off 8th Street across from the Memorial Union at Fort Hays State University. We've talked about the building. Let's talk about the people involved. You've been with the university 20 years, and I can tell you're excited to get to this new building.
I am really excited. Whenever you have a chance to be a part of an investment for the future of Fort Hays State, and specifically for applied technology kids and sculpture, students, this building, I know just talking with Toby, the sculpture portion of it is probably going to be the best sculpture, blacksmith, and metal foundry combination, probably west of the Mississippi. So he's extremely excited about the things that are going in his portion of the building. And likewise in our portion, whenever we can have new equipment going into a new building, I've got to tell you that's pretty exciting for not only the students but for the professors as well. About 3 or 4 years ago, we had an opportunity to write a proposal through the foundation, and it got on Peter and Pam Worth's desk, and he's a 1959 chemistry graduate, and he has been gracious about investing in Fort Hays State University, specifically in our department with applied technology. It has allowed us, really it's a game changer. His investment has allowed us to update older equipment bring in new equipment with emerging technologies. That's where we have a STEM lab. And so consequently, those types of things going into a new building when you have new equipment makes it pretty exciting.
Having a building without the equipment doesn't do you much good, but you're actually going to name that department after him, right? Or that.
Well, we have just named the new Science, Technology, and Mathematics College, the Peter and Pam Worth Science of Technology and Mathematics. He was gracious enough to invest in the entire college, and so we, through the foundation, are doing naming not only of colleges but buildings and even rooms within the context of the Center for Applied Technology and Sculpture. And those are things that with the types of funding that are now available, we need to do the fundraising and those types of things. And Peter and Pam have made a tremendous difference on our campus, and it's an investment for years and years to come. And so it's very appropriate that they have the college named after them.
Well, a couple of things we want to finish up with here as we're running out of time. We have in the university a lot of different schools, a lot of new construction going on, but there's going to be a group of kids that attend this are going to be the real benefit. Who will attend this? I mean, as far as attending this area and work in this area.
In applied technology, we have teacher education, which is technology and engineering education. So those people that want to be a teacher would come to us if they want to be an industrial education teacher. Those people that want to go into any type of drafting, computer-aided drafting design area, they would come. Anybody that would want to be in construction technology, construction management would be another area. We have manufacturing technology, that would be another area. And then we also have a Bachelor of Technology Leadership, which was actually for some person who already has an associate's degree that would like to obtain a bachelor's degree. That's really an online program, but the fact of the matter is there has to be somewhere to house that, and there's no better place than the Center for Applied Technology and Sculpture for that to happen. Our niche in the world is that we want to create people that have some type of a skill set and have an understanding of what goes on in the labor force. Yet somebody needs to manage those people. And so that's where our niche in the world is that we're putting out those people who are managers in the construction and manufacturing and teacher education, of course, and even in the computer-aided drafting area. So
well, you talk about the STEM lab, and you're bringing people who can come together and build things. And be in the part of making the process of whether it be in Western Kansas or any part of the world continue to grow and build things.
One of the exciting things about our STEM lab in that area and something that we see visionary or seeing in the future is that we want to combine students that might be in a manufacturing or construction area with somebody that might be in the new entrepreneurship hall, and they're wanting to come up with an idea but don't know exactly how to put it together. Well, our students know how to put things together. And so if we can team people up, in those situations and give them somewhere where they can express how they want to put something together, those are going to be exciting times for the university and specifically for our area of study.
Well, I can tell you what, if you drive through the university, make sure you drive by this building and the others. Dr. Martin and the group of professors in behind all this are just making some amazing things happen. The important stuff. Yeah. When will we get in the building?
We will be in the building in the fall of 17. So
the clock is ticking here.
The clock is ticking. I go to each monthly construction meeting. I do that more for just my own interest, but we kind of can keep tabs on where we're at, and with the weather, our people are keeping right in tune with what they need to do to make sure that they're doing things on time. We've had great weather for building across campus, and so our building, it just changes daily, and it's pretty exciting. We actually have a live feed that you can go to the Applied Technology website, and you can see on a daily basis what's taking place. And so just nearly every day I'll pop that up to see what's happening on the job site.
So you don't even have to drive by. You can just go on your
computer. Don't have to drive by. And there's a lot of people that are taking advantage of that. Not only the architects and some of the builders that have subcontractors out there, but our teachers out there that are sending us students. they're very interested in what's going on. So they'll pop that website up, and they'll show their students, back in their high schools, what's happening at Fort Hays State University.
Well, Kim, thanks for being here and sharing the story. And I hope you get a chance to go by the university, take a look at the building, especially the new building for Applied Sciences across from Memorial Union. You'll see it going up. And that website is on the Fort Hays State website under Applied Technology.
That's correct. That's correct. Yep.
All right. Our guest has been Kim Stewart. He's Associate Professor and Chair of Applied Technologies at Fort Hays State University. Thank him for being on the show, and thanks Fort Hays State for all the great work that they're doing with our students down there. The forum is brought to you by Hayes Med and by Eagle Communications, our community connected.
It's a beautiful day in our super high-speed internet great customer service neighborhood. Like you, this is where we live. In fact, our company is employee-owned, so it's our goal to improve the quality of life for everyone in our community by delivering faster, more reliable internet, clearer, more feature-laden phone service, quality TV channels, all with the level of customer service you'd expect from people who are your neighbors. Eagle Communications, our community connected.